All right, Cancer, let's get into your reading. All right, the message that I have for you today is this, and you need to hear every word. Two men at this very moment are having a conversation about you that would leave you speechless. This is not surface level gossip. These two are dissecting what you genuinely mean to each of them. Your name landed in a discussion neither of them planned, and once it started, it refused to stop. One brought you up first, and the other immediately had something heavy to contribute about your presence. The intensity of what they shared back and forth regarding you would rattle your entire understanding of things. These are not strangers exchanging casual opinions. Both carry a genuine and deep connection to your energy. What poured out of their mouths once your name hit the air surprised even them with its honesty. Neither expected the other to feel so strongly, and that mutual recognition shifted the entire tone between them. The room changed when you became the subject, and what followed was a dialogue that stunned them both. Their guards dropped simultaneously, and what emerged was a level of vulnerability neither of them saw coming. Both men realized in that single exchange that you occupy a space in their lives they cannot minimize. Let us go into it because the cards are mapping out precisely what sparked this conversation about you. Here's our first card, the Ace of Swords, cutting straight through the center of this entire spread. The Ace of Swords represents a breakthrough, a flash of mental clarity that forced both men to speak. Truth demanded to be spoken, and neither man could hold it behind closed teeth any longer at all. The Ace of Swords confirms that honesty cracked wide open between them, almost involuntarily, against their will. One of them voiced something about you that had been locked inside for months, sealed tight under pride. The second that statement left his mouth, the other man recognized his own unspoken truth within it. The Ace of Swords does not allow half-truths. It demands the full, unfiltered weight of confession. What this card reveals is that both men arrived at identical conclusions independently, without any coordination. Their clarity about you did not come from each other. It formed separately, then collided during this exchange. That collision is what made the conversation so charged. Neither of them expected the mirror facing them. A truth spoken aloud by one became a mirror reflecting the other, and that reflection shocked them deeply. We also have the Magician, and this card exposes why you hold so much gravity in their minds. The Magician tells me your energy is magnetic, not subtly, but in a way that commands full attention. You carry a presence that disrupts their focus on anything else, and both men feel it equally. The Magician confirms that you possess something rare, a combination of qualities neither of them can replicate elsewhere. They discussed this openly, marveling at how you occupy a space in their thoughts they cannot reclaim. Your influence operates without your awareness, pulling their focus back toward you even when they actively resist. The Magician does not appear for ordinary connections. It surfaces only when a person carries transformative significance. Both men acknowledged during that conversation that knowing you altered something fundamental inside their perspective forever. Your effect on them is not something they can rationalize, explain, or file away neatly inside their minds. The magician confirms you rewired how both of these men experience attraction, trust, and emotional vulnerability. Then we have the Three of Wands, and this card confirms their discussion was not backward-looking. The Three of Wands tells me both men spoke about you in terms of what lies directly ahead. Future plans involving you dominated the conversation, each man expressing a vision where you play a central role. The Three of Wands reveals their interest in you is expanding, not fading, growing wider each day. Neither man views you as a closed chapter. Both see open road ahead with your name across it. Their dialogue carried forward momentum that surprised them, forcing them to confront where this is actually heading. The Three of Wands, combined with the Magician and the Ace of Swords, confirms this discussion reshapes everything. Every card confirms that two men sat across from each other, spoke your name, and neither could stop. So there is a part of you that sensed something shifting, even before you clicked on this reading. You have been feeling a pull lately, an awareness that your name carries more weight than people admit. Deep down, you suspected that conversations about you were happening, and your gut was not making it up. Your instincts have been firing non-stop, sending signals you could not quite decode but refused to ignore. Something in your spirit kept nudging you, whispering that people are talking, that your energy left a mark. You did not imagine it, you did not exaggerate it, and the cards are about to validate everything. The frustrating part for you is that nobody confirmed what your intuition already told you months ago. You walked around carrying this inner knowing without a single soul reflecting it back to you with words. That silence made you question yourself, made you wonder if maybe you were reading too much into things. Part of you started dimming your own light, pulling back on your natural magnetism just to feel normal. You caught yourself shrinking in spaces where you once commanded attention, and that shift confused you deeply. Come in close, because the cards are about to show you exactly what has been stirring inside you. Our first card is the Page of Cups, and it speaks directly to your current emotional state. The Page of Cups tells me you have been receiving intuitive downloads, messages from your own spirit, non-stop. Dreams about certain people have intensified, and you woke up more than once feeling their presence lingering. Your emotional sensitivity has been heightened to a level that almost overwhelms you on certain days lately. You pick up on frequencies others miss entirely, absorbing unspoken energy like a sponge you cannot wring out. The Page of Cups confirms your psychic awareness, whether you label it that or not, is fully activated. Feelings flood you without warning, waves of emotion that do not belong to you but attach themselves anyway. You have questioned your own sanity over this, wondering why certain faces keep appearing in your quiet moments. The Page of Cups validates every single one of those experiences, confirming they were never random or invented. Your heart opened wider than you realize, and that openness left you exposed in ways you resent. Vulnerability became your default setting recently, and the discomfort of that has been eating at your composure. Next, we have the Four of Swords, and this card mirrors the exhaustion you have been dragging around. The Four of Swords confirms that mentally you are running on fumes, stretched thin by overthinking every detail. Your mind desperately craves stillness, but every time you reach for quiet, another thought crashes through the door. Sleep has not been restful. Your brain replays interactions on a loop, dissecting every word that was said. The Four of Swords tells me you have been forcing functionality, masking fatigue behind a steady face. Burnout is not approaching, it already arrived, and you have been operating inside it without admitting the truth. Your body begs for pause. Your nervous system begs for peace, and you keep overriding both with willpower. The Four of Swords does not suggest rest, it demands it, and ignoring it costs you real clarity. Mental fog has clouded decisions you used to make with confidence, and that loss of sharpness frustrates you. You used to trust your own judgment without hesitation, and lately that certainty has felt strangely absent. Then we have the Empress, and this card reveals the core truth about where you stand with yourself. The Empress tells me you have been neglecting your worth, pouring outward while running dry on the inside. Your nurturing nature gives endlessly, but the well you draw from has not been replenished in ages. The Empress confirms that self-love is not a luxury for you. It is a critical necessity. You forgot that the same magnetism drawing people toward you requires you to feed it from within first. Abundance surrounds you. Opportunities circle your energy constantly, but exhaustion blocks you from recognizing any of it. The Empress demands you stop abandoning yourself in favor of analyzing what everyone else feels about you. Your worth was never dependent on whether others discussed you, spoke your name, or validated your presence. The Empress, paired with the Page of Cups and Four of Swords, paints a portrait of reclaimed power. Every card on your side confirms one truth. You knew all of this before the reading even began. Okay, the cards are now zooming in on what is happening inside both of these men simultaneously. Their inner worlds are colliding right now, and neither of them expected to feel this level of turmoil. Each man processes you differently, but the depth of what they carry mirrors the other almost identically. The first man wrestles with something territorial, a possessive streak he did not know existed until you surfaced. The second man battles a quieter storm, a devotion so consuming it rewired his entire emotional framework. Both arrived at the same crossroads independently, and discovering the other stands there too rattled them profoundly. Jealousy flickered between them during that conversation, not spoken outright, but thick enough to choke the air. Neither admitted it, but each man measured himself against the other the moment your name was mentioned. Let us go deeper into this, because the cards expose exactly what festers beneath their composed exteriors. Our first card for their side is the Knight of Cups, targeting their emotional motives directly. The Knight of Cups reveals that both men approach you from a place of genuine romantic intention. This is not casual interest, not idle curiosity. Both carry a desire to offer you something lasting. The first man fantasizes about grand gestures, sweeping declarations that would cement his position in your life. His motive springs from a desperate need to be chosen, to be the one you remember most vividly. The Knight of Cups confirms his feelings operate like a mission, something he is committed to without retreat. The second man moves differently. His approach is quieter, rooted in patience and an almost painful sincerity. His motive springs from a conviction that time will prove his loyalty, that steadiness outlasts any grand display. The Knight of Cups holds both of their intentions side by side, confirming neither man is playing games. What separates them is not the depth of feeling, it is the method each chooses to express it. One leads with intensity, the other leads with consistency, and both strategies revolve entirely around earning you. Next, we have the High Priestess, and this card peels back the layers neither man wants exposed. The High Priestess reveals that both men harbor secrets about you, truths they guard with fierce privacy. The first man hides that he compares every woman he meets to you, and none survive that test. You became his invisible standard, the benchmark against which all others fall hopelessly short without even competing. The High Priestess confirms he carries this knowledge silently, ashamed of how completely you colonized his preferences. The second man conceals something equally staggering. He has already imagined an entire life built around your presence. Details he would never confess, morning routines together, holidays planned in his head, names whispered to himself. The High Priestess exposes that his inner world revolves around a future with you he treats as certain. Both men sit with truths they consider too vulnerable to voice, terrified that speaking them invites rejection. Their silence is not indifference. It is a fortress built from fear that crumbles more each day. The High Priestess does not tolerate hidden things forever. She always drags them toward the light eventually. Then we have the Five of Wands, and this card captures the friction building between these two men. The Five of Wands confirms that tension simmers beneath every interaction they share, especially when your name surfaces. Competition has entered their dynamic, an unspoken rivalry that colors how they speak and behave around each other. Each man senses the other holds feelings for you, and that awareness breeds a quiet hostility neither addresses. The Five of Wands tells me their friendship, their bond, whatever connects them, now strains under your influence. Neither wants to confront it directly, because doing so would force both to declare intentions they fear naming. The discomfort between them grows thicker with every encounter. Fueled by a mutual obsession, neither will surrender. The Five of Wands confirms that you, without lifting a finger, became the axis their entire conflict orbits. Their rivalry is not destructive yet, but the pressure building inside both of them demands an eventual release. Every card here confirms two men caught in parallel devotion, circling the same truth from opposite ends. Now the cards are revealing the exact moves both of these men are preparing to make toward you. Stillness is no longer an option for either of them, and the shift from thinking to doing began. The first man has already started positioning himself, adjusting his schedule and his habits to orbit closer. His moves are calculated but urgent, driven by a fear that waiting any longer costs him his window. The second man operates on a slower timeline, but make no mistake, his steps are just as intentional. Both men are transitioning from internal conflict to external action, and neither plans to sit idle any longer. What separates their approaches is tempo. One moves with fire and the other with strategic precision. The race toward you has quietly begun, and each man believes he holds the advantage over the other. Let us go ahead and get into it, because the cards outline every step that unfolds from here. Our first card is the Two of Swords, and this card captures the critical decision facing both men. The Two of Swords confirms each man stands at a fork, weighing risk against the comfort of inaction. The first man debates whether to make his move openly or test the waters with something more subtle. His internal deliberation is almost finished, and the conclusion he reaches tips heavily toward bold, direct contact. Expect him to break silence in a manner that feels abrupt, charged, and impossible for you to ignore. The Two of Swords tells me his decision locks in soon, and once it does, hesitation evaporates completely. The second man weighs his options differently, calculating the perfect moment to reveal himself without appearing desperate. His strategy involves demonstrating value through consistent presence, showing up reliably until you notice the pattern. The Two of Swords confirms he will choose patience over spectacle, betting that loyalty speaks louder than drama. Both decisions are forming simultaneously, and neither man knows the other is also preparing to make a move. That blind spot accelerates their timelines, because each assumes he has the field to himself without competition. Next, we have the King of Pentacles, and this card exposes the tangible actions already underway behind scenes. The King of Pentacles reveals that the first man is investing materially, creating conditions designed to impress you. Resources are being redirected, plans are being funded, and physical gestures are being assembled with your name attached. He wants to offer you something concrete, not just words, but proof that his intentions carry real substance. The King of Pentacles confirms his next move involves a gift, an invitation, or a deliberate grand display. The second man channels this energy differently, building stability in his own life to present himself as ready. He restructures routines, eliminates distractions, and quietly constructs a version of himself he considers worthy of you. The King of Pentacles tells me his preparation is thorough, almost obsessive in how carefully he curates it. Both men invest heavily, one through external offerings and the other through internal transformation aimed at earning you. Their methods diverge completely, but the destination both of them navigate toward remains identical and unavoidable. Then we have the Fool, and this card confirms a leap of faith is imminent from both sides. The Fool reveals the first man reaches a point where logic surrenders to instinct, and he acts. His approach will feel spontaneous, unpolished, raw, arriving without the rehearsed perfection he originally planned for you. The second man also reaches his tipping point, where patience exhausts itself and impulse finally takes the wheel. The Fool confirms that both men, despite their different strategies, converge on the same reckless decision to pursue. Neither can predict the outcome, neither has guarantees, and both accept that vulnerability is the price of entry. The Fool does not promise safety, it promises movement, and both men have chosen motion over remaining still. Their parallel leaps, launched from different angles, crash toward your awareness within a very tight, overlapping time frame. The collision of their timing is not accidental. The cards confirm it was always meant to converge. Every card here confirms two men transitioning from contemplation to action, each independently racing toward you without breaks. So what the cards uncover now lives in the space neither of these men will ever willingly reveal. Beneath the surface of every calculated word, beneath every composed interaction, raw confessions rot in silence. Both men carry admissions so vulnerable that speaking them aloud would dismantle every wall they ever constructed. The first man harbors a confession that eats at him nightly, one he would take to his grave. The second man guards a desire so consuming that acknowledging it to himself still triggers waves of shame. Their secrets share a common thread. Both revolve around a need for you that borders on desperation. What they hide is not casual affection. It is the kind of unraveling that terrifies grown men. The vulnerability required to name it, to say it plainly, exceeds what either man currently possesses inside. Neither spoke the full truth to anybody, and the weight of carrying it alone has begun corroding them. Let us go ahead and dive into this, because the cards strip everything bare without mercy or apology. Our first card is the Lovers, and in this position, it exposes the deepest confession both men share. The Lovers confirms that both men have privately admitted to themselves that you are the one they want. Not a backup option, not a maybe, not a pleasant thought. You occupy the throne in their minds. The first man confesses internally that he has never wanted anybody the way he wants you right now. Every previous relationship, every past connection pales so dramatically against what you stir that he feels foolish. The Lovers reveals he mourns time wasted on people who were never you, and that grief surprises him. His hidden truth is he would abandon every comfortable option available if you gave a single signal. One word from you, one unmistakable sign, and his entire life restructures around that single green light. The Lovers confirms his devotion is not divided, despite appearances. You claimed every corner of his loyalty. The second man holds a confession that cuts even deeper, one wrapped in layers of self-protection. He admits to himself, only in complete solitude, that you are the standard he measures everything against. The Lovers reveals no face, no voice, no presence has ever disrupted his composure the way yours does. Next, we have the Nine of Cups, and this card unlocks the specific fantasies both men bury deepest. The Nine of Cups is the wish card, and both men carry a wish they treat as sacred. The first man wishes for your undivided attention, a moment where the world shrinks to just you two. He fantasizes about a conversation where masks dissolve, where both of you finally speak without any filters. The Nine of Cups confirms that his deepest desire is emotional nakedness with you, not performance or pretense. The second man wishes for permanence, a life where waking up beside you is ordinary rather than imagined. His fantasy skips past courtship entirely, landing in a domestic stillness that most people take completely for granted. The Nine of Cups reveals he craves the mundane with you, grocery runs and silence and tangled mornings. Both men wish for different versions of intimacy, but each version orbits the same center, which is you. Their wishes are not fleeting impulses. These are rehearsed visions they revisit nightly, like sacred, private rituals. Then we have the Seven of Swords, and this card reveals what both men actively conceal. The Seven of Swords confirms the first man hides how often he monitors your presence from a distance. He checks your activity, notices your patterns, absorbs details about your life you never intended him to catalog. That surveillance is not predatory. It is the desperate vigilance of a man terrified of missing his opening. The Seven of Swords tells me the second man conceals how frequently he rehearses confessions meant for you. Scripts written in his mind, revised endlessly, perfected in isolation, then swallowed before they ever reach air. He hides the sheer volume of attempts he abandoned, drafts of courage that dissolved at the final second. The Seven of Swords exposes both men operating in secrecy, protecting truths they consider too fragile to risk. Their confessions sit locked behind teeth that ache from clenching, and the pressure builds towards something inevitable. Every card here confirms two men drowning in unspoken devotion, each guarding secrets that belong only to you. Okay, the cards now shift into what unfolds next, and the trajectory ahead demands your full attention. Both men reach a point of no return within the coming weeks, and silence officially expires between you. The first man initiates contact that carries unmistakable weight, arriving in a form that leaves zero ambiguity. His approach lands with force, stripping away every layer of pretense that previously stood between you two. The second man follows closely behind, compelled by the realization that delay risks losing you to another entirely. Their timelines converge in a window so narrow you will feel both energies pressing toward you almost simultaneously. What greets you is not subtle. It is a collision of truths delivered from two different directions. Dust settles after both men lay their cards on the table, and the choice finally rests with you. That moment of decision, when it arrives, carries the kind of gravity that only genuine connection can produce. Let us see what the cards are showing today, because the final spread confirms exactly how this resolves. Our first card is the Wheel of Fortune, and this card signals a destined turning point arriving fast. The Wheel of Fortune confirms that fate accelerates everything, removing obstacles that previously blocked this from unfolding. Circumstances align in ways that feel orchestrated, as though the universe cleared a path specifically for this moment. Nothing about this convergence is accidental. Every element was arranged long before any of you understood the design. Events beyond anyone's control push all three of you into the same space at the same exact time. The Wheel of Fortune does not negotiate timing. It delivers what was always meant to arrive, period. Next, we have Strength. And this card confirms the inner power you carry into what approaches you now. Strength tells me you handle this with grace, surprising both men and repositioning you as the anchor. Your composure under pressure becomes the defining factor, and how you respond shapes everything that follows after. The Four of Wands then confirms that resolution leads toward celebration, toward union, toward something genuinely lasting. Now, here's my guidance for you as both of these energies prepare to land at your doorstep. Do not rush your response. Let both men reveal themselves fully before you weigh a single word. Clarity arrives only after you hear both sides completely, and patience protects you from choosing under pressure. Trust the instinct that brought you here. The same gut feeling has been guiding you all along. You owe neither man an immediate answer, and the one who respects your timing reveals his true character. Guard your peace fiercely during this period, because external noise will try to drown out your inner knowing. The right choice will not feel forced. It settles inside your chest like something that was always yours. You deserve a love that matches your depth, and settling for anything less dishonors everything you carry within. Your standards exist for a reason, and the cards confirm lowering them was never part of your destiny. Today confirmed it. Two men are in deep discussion about you, and what they say would shock you. Every card validated it. The Ace of Swords broke truth wide open. The Magician confirmed your magnetic pull. Three of Wands revealed vision. Page of Cups activated intuition. Four of Swords named exhaustion. The Empress reclaimed worth. Knight of Cups exposed motive. The High Priestess dragged secrets to light. Five of Wands confirmed rivalry. Two of Swords captured crossroads. King of Pentacles revealed investment. The Fool launched reckless pursuit. The Lovers confirmed devotion. The Nine of Cups unveiled their sacred wishes. Seven of Swords exposed concealment. Wheel of Fortune locked destiny. Strength granted you final authority. 21 cards, every single one confirming the same undeniable truth from a different angle, without exception. Two men spoke your name with reverence, and what follows reshapes everything you thought you knew about love. Thank you for being here today, for trusting this message and allowing it to reach you fully. I appreciate every one of you watching, and I am sending warmth and light wherever you are. Protect your energy, honor your worth, and remember that the love meant for you will never require chasing. It finds you, it chooses you, and it stays without conditions or ultimatums attached to its arrival. Their timelines converge in a window so narrow you will feel both energies pressing toward you almost simultaneously. What greets you is not subtle. It is a collision of truths delivered from two different directions. Dust settles after both men lay their cards on the table, and the choice finally rests with you. That moment of decision, when it arrives, carries the kind of gravity that only genuine connection can produce. Let us see what the cards are showing today, because the final spread confirms exactly how this resolves. Our first card is the Wheel of Fortune, and this card signals a destined turning point arriving fast. The Wheel of Fortune confirms that fate accelerates everything, removing obstacles that previously blocked this from unfolding. Circumstances align in ways that feel orchestrated, as though the universe cleared a path specifically for this moment. Nothing about this convergence is accidental. Every element